Okay then, welcome to the fourth of these videos. Now we'll be discussing the differences between the London, the national and the private services. Okay, this is a quite nice little table. It describes to you really what the differences between the different types of PGDs are. It's pretty obvious what I'm trying to say here. For example, with the London one, you can see that they have an extra group of patients. They are free of charge to those extra group of patients. And also, you've got the opportunity to provide PPV as well. With the national one, you've only got the standard group of patients. It's free of charge, and the rest of you don't have the option. For example, the patient doesn't pay for it. There's no option of PPV, and there's no option of Prevnar as well. We'll talk about Prevnar a bit later on. In the private side of things, you have, depending obviously on which provider you have, you've got the standard group of patients. You can give the vaccine to extra groups as well. The difference is that they have to pay for it, and also there is the opportunity to provide Prevnar as well, which we'll go into a bit later. That's a new pneumococcal vaccine that we would like you to think about giving to your clients as well. Now, when you go on to the first pct.org website, I'm not going to go into it again, but when you do go into it, you'll see this table. Okay, this table here. Um, Let me just expand it a bit. Okay, there are. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but it tells you the differences between the London and the flu cohorts. In other words, when you can actually give those vaccines and when you can't. And as you can see, the London one's got a much wider range than the national one. So obviously, if somebody falls into the London criteria, you would go under that PGD, and if somebody falls into the national criteria, you would use that PGD. And this table is a really good one to use, and it's actually available on the front page of Sonar as well. Pardon me. Now, um, PPV, this particular PGD is available only in London. It's comprised of two PGDs, a core and a pharmacist specific one for London, that is again, and you'll need to sign both. And an important thing here is if you're unsure whether or not a patient's had PPV, then you really ought to refer them back to the GP. Okay, this is something that cropped up from last year when people were double vaccinated, and it's something that I think you ought to be aware of. And when you do go onto the PGs, when you do download them, as we discussed earlier, these are the inclusion criteria. Again, I'm not going to go into it, but it's there on the PGD itself. Okay, in terms of paperwork, again, all on that website. Again, it's you're going to need always to get consent from your clients. You're going to need to send a notification to the GP, ideally electronic if possible. And if you're not sure how to send it, then your best bet would be to talk to your local area teams, as discussed earlier, and get an idea as to what they want you to do. And also, you will need to provide a feedback form to your clients as well, to your patients, um, just to make sure that they are happy with the service, which I'm sure they will be if you give it to them. Finally, on this part of the video, I just want to mention something about private vaccinations. We are providing a buy one get one free for £16, which is a pretty good deal, and that includes Prevnar as well as the flu. Now, remember earlier on I spoke a little bit about Prevnar. It's something that we really are trying to promote. We're trying to get our members to um, give this vaccine to appropriate clients. And essentially, what it is, it's a private pneumococcal vaccine that can be given to people who may be outside of the NHS inclusion criteria for PPV. And it's got quite a large inclusion criteria, and it is something that we suggest you do because you can charge your clients as well. You can get something back as well. You can get there is an element of profitability there, but more importantly, it is something that will protect your patients as well. And what we would like you to do is we would like you to call us on 0208 863 3335, and we can set you up on this deal as well. Okay then, so thank you again for listening to this presentation. We will now follow on to video 5, which discusses ordering of stock.